Hello. Hi,
Hello.
Marie. Welcome, everybody, to Get Real Estate with Liz and Marie. And I'm Liz.
And I'm Marie.
And we're not together again today because we both went our separate ways last week for a little business and fun that we had to do. And so I didn't get back in time enough today. So
It's okay. It was Labor Day weekend.
I know. And my daughter's 18th birthday. So it was a celebration for her.
Happy
And
birthday,
it was fun.
Bridgie.
Yep. I know, 18, man. That's it comes at you fast. That's all I can say. Comes at you fast. And now she has to adult, so that's all right. We all have to do it. She can't gamble though. She can't drink. She can vote, and that's important. Super important.
She can drink in Mexico though.
Yes, she can, and that's where we came from. But I don't know if she drank. We won't talk about that. Anyway, how was your little? Just a quick thing, because last week when we were on here, Marie was going up to be in a pool tournament, and how did that turn out for you?
It was a lot of fun. We didn't win the tournament or anything, but won 2 matches, lost 2 matches, and just had a really good time.
I know, so it's good. See, that's what it's about.
Fun time, Caesar's buffet, lots of good seafood.
Awesome. Yeah, good. That's fun. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you have been busy today since I was kind of MIA.
I know you were stuck in traffic coming across the border, crazy
an accident and getting pulled. Don't bring peppers back across the Mexican border because they will, and then admit that you don't have them or forget that you have them because they will confiscate them. But I just want to say real quick, I think the peppers could have saved our life because we missed there was an accident that happened shortly there before we got to the place, and we could have been in that accident, but since we were delayed with the pepper problem, we weren't. So it's good.
Yes. No, we're glad you're back safely.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
So real estate's all out there. What's happening?
Real estate this week. Okay. So I've got some of the latest numbers on, let's see, the active residential listings for week in Maricopa County. We are actually above 7,000. Okay. So, and we're just talking active. We're not talking under contract or, accepting backup offers or any of those kind of things. So just purely active listings.
And that's not the coming soons either, because they'll list coming soons now. Yeah.
No. So this is just purely active, which is what we've been reporting every week, but just, want to mention that, make sure everybody knows what we're looking at. So 7,043 listings this week across Maricopa County. So that's up from 68 from last week. The median list price is $480, really hasn't changed, gone down 9,000, which is kind of insignificant on a week-to-week basis. And the average days on market is 49, which I think is exactly where it was last week as well. Mm-hmm. And it's just interesting, again, as we kind of look at some of these cities each week and see where we're at. We've mentioned before that these 5 cities, Phoenix, Scottsdale, Tempe, Chandler, and Mesa, are not the only 5 cities in Maricopa County. There's plenty more. So this, chart won't all add up. And you guys can check all this out on our blog later to see the full information. But yeah, City of Phoenix price change went down 5,000 from last week. The number of listings only went up by 3 though. So 68 across Maricopa County and only up 3 in the City of Phoenix, right? Yeah. So, and the City of Scottsdale actually dropped a whole 18 listings, and the price change is only $100. The median price is $899. So interesting that, with a difference of 18 listings, but not much change in that price is kind of interesting to me.
Well, their days on market are longer. And so I wonder with that change too, like, if they had quite a few closed or something, and then, so it dropped that number,
Yeah.
like they got our list.
Yeah, it's interesting
Oh,
that
that's
Scottsdale and Tempe have the highest days on market out of the cities that we list at. And I'm wondering if it has more to do with the higher price points, especially in Scottsdale. So now you have like jumbo loans and maybe two
mhm.
loans or things like that that might take longer. Tempe, I'm not sure as much though, why it would be so high.
I don't know, just, whoever they're using maybe as title or something. I don't know. But
Yeah.
you know what? I don't know. This could just be a thing. But again, you have ASU there. So are these rental properties and it's a second home, or it's a rental property and it's just going to take a little bit more documentation for some
Yeah.
of those loans, you know?
Definitely could be an issue. Yeah, and just a longer inspection period because you want to, make sure that those rentals are in good condition. Sometimes if people aren't living there, they don't really know the condition.
Right.
Um,
True.
so
True.
yeah, so overall, I mean, not many drastic changes. Mesa, though, went up 23 listings just from last week alone. So Mesa had the biggest jump in listings, obviously, aside from across all Maricopa County. But 23 new listings, I mean, that's a decent amount.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a big city though.
it is a pretty big city. Yeah, there's nothing crazy with the rentals, I would say. The numbers haven't changed much. Overall, in all the different cities, I just say that the median rent is still pretty high across the board. I still see a really strong rental market here in the valley. So I think no matter which city you'd be looking to hold a rental property in, uh,
Well,
it's
and
a
you and I had a lead last week. One of the leads, that we were talking to. I think with that, when it was pointed out to her, like, what are your plans if we come along and purchase your house? I think that was kind of that, oh, I don't know. I don't know if we rent, if we'll go buy something. I mean, like, that was like a moment where she was like, oh, that's a good question.
yeah.
I don't
Well,
think
and
she
it's
realized how hard.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now the market is so tricky, and that's one of the things that we want to talk about today with some of the articles that I've pulled up. So,
Yeah.
um, the first article we're going to talk about is 5 Arizona housing market predictions for 2021. Predictions or just facts, where we are right now.
The crystal
Um,
ball.
Yeah, we none of us have a crystal ball, but this is good. This was pulled off of AZ Big News, so there'll be a link in the blog. You guys can go check it out. But right now, mortgage rates are really, really low. So right now they're averaging 2.75%. That's a 50-year low. Okay, so longer than I've been on this earth, that is the low. You know, I know back in the 80s, they were like in the teens and 20s. So it was
How did people
crazy.
buy houses then?
I don't know,
I
but they still did, right?
Yeah, it's
But,
crazy.
right now, I mean, it's probably not the best time necessarily to buy because of the just condition of the market with so few properties and prices going up. But it's definitely a great time to refinance or particularly cash out refinance if you want to pull some equity out of any of your properties or your homes. So enjoy these rates low while they last.
Yes.
But according to this article, we're predicting they will stay there throughout the course, the end of this year. So we don't see them rising too quickly. And then inventory is going to stay low. I
Yeah.
think that the buyers want to get in, but sellers don't necessarily, like you said, with the lead that we got, where are you going to go? Even if you
Yeah.
want to sell your property, that means you got to go buy another property or go rent a property, and rental rates are high, and prices are high. So inventory is definitely going to stay low
And
throughout the end.
I just want to, yeah, and say on that interest rate, it's COVID has been frustrating for every person. I mean, I don't know who would say, "Oh, this is so great," but we have to look at the silver lining in some things, and that's it. This low interest rate, they started to see they don't want our economy to suffer any worse than it was. So what can we do to bolster that? And these were the kind of things. So look at what's happening good and take advantage of it. Like you say, if you can buy and sell something, great. If not, can you refinance and get something in to help yourself out better?
Yeah. I know I would definitely, I'm taking advantage. I'm in the middle of refinancing right now. So
And how's it
shout
going?
out.
We might have to talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll talk about that once it's all finalized. But yeah, it's definitely a great time. I mean, I'm going to be saving hundreds of dollars a month on each of 3 mortgages. So it's definitely a great time to refinance. And interestingly enough, there's a lot of first-time home buyers coming into this market. So, you got Gen Z, millennials looking to buy their first house. So you got a lot of first-time home buyers. Also, rental prices are on the rise. So again, I think I mentioned this earlier, but if you can keep your property and rent it out, that might be a great long-term strategy. But it depends on if it's already a rental or if it's your primary residence, because then where are you going to live?
Yeah.
Um,
Yes, but if you can do that, that's a great opportunity because you just can get somebody in there to, pay that mortgage for you while you're, and especially again, let's go back to the refi. If you can do a cash out refi, then you now have cash. You can take that cash to purchase another house and then get somebody in there that's paying that mortgage for you. And now you have that lump sum money to put onto a new house.
Yeah. Yeah,
So.
it's a great strategy. I did that back in 2019. I refinanced 1 rental and ended up buying 2 more. So it's a great strategy, and it still holds, true right now, especially again with these low rates. So the only difference between now and 2019 are the prices. So prices have gone up. But another interesting fact is that buyers are actually putting more than 20% down payments right now. So, I mean, we do obviously have the investor buyers that are just paying cash, but we're seeing that a lot of buyers are putting more than 20% down to avoid mortgage insurance and just to have kind of a stronger, leverage with the seller if it is, a first-time home buyer or something like that. Seller's going to look at that and say, oh, they're willing to put 30% down. They must really want this house and are gonna make it happen and close. So
Right.
those are some interesting trends.
Yeah, no, that's good. And when you get to this second part we're going to talk about, I want to just tell a quick synopsis on combining both of those things. So after you do the
next article.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one is how to overcome buyer and agent frustrations. And I've kind of recapped this as how to navigate this tough sellers market, right? We are definitely in a tough sellers market right now. So what are kind of the ups and downs and do's and don'ts, if you will? So this article was, I found it on Forbes, but it was actually written by a local real estate agent here in the Valley. So I just bulleted these out and just want to touch on them real quick. But one, don't get frustrated or fatigued. Especially if you're a first time home buyer, you're going to be making multiple offers on different properties. You're going to get burned out if you keep getting outbid. You're going to be competing with cash offers and investors, right? But at the end of the day, you really do have to say, if it was meant to be, it would be, and move on and look at the next property.
Well, and that's what I want to say, because in my instance alone, my future daughter-in-law is a first-time home buyer, and she stood in line for hours to get in and see a house, and they put in multiple offers and was getting the buyer fatigue and was very frustrated and all that. And then they started to look in houses that needed a little bit more repair maybe, or needed a little bit more something done to them, so that she could get into the house and then fix it up. And the other thing is, she realized she's not looking for her dream house right now. So she kind of lowered or shortened her expectations a little bit, knowing I want this house to be a rental property in the next couple years. So like we're talking about. So then she totally kind of changed her strategy a little bit. Okay, where's a little bit stronger rental market? Where's a house that I might have to do a few repairs on? And then what's a house that it would make a good rental in the end. And the funny thing is, the house that she settled on, the laundry room is upstairs in it in the hallway. Well, that's great. I think if you have a family and you're there, but we could already tell in this house it had leaks a couple of times. And so I said, the laundry upstairs is not a good idea for a rental. So in the work we're doing, we're having it moved back down to the garage so that it's not going to do that. But it's just, when she changed that and then looked in that different philosophy, it made all the world of difference, And like she said, I'm going to love this house, but it's not my dream house. So I had to stop trying to find my dream house for my first time buying.
And I love that you brought up that story, because you really did touch on the next couple points in this whole article where, he says, like, step into your power. Where is somewhere where you could be a more powerful buyer, right? Where is your money going to go further? And he's like, look at homes that have been on the market for a longer period of time. Because even if you think it's overpriced, if it's been on the market for a while, everyone who wanted to make an offer already had the time to look at it. And right now, you might be their only option. So go back
and you have negotiating power then. Yeah, you'll have a little bit more negotiating power.
You'll definitely have some negotiating power there. And then, like you said, don't fail to see the potential in a property. There's too many, especially first-time home buyers, where they think it's like HGTV and they're going to go in and find their dream home, or they're going to have the property brothers come and fix it up and make it perfect for them. No, you have to find your right now home, right? You have to find what's going to work for you and your family, maybe for the next 5 years, not necessarily for the next 30. So, don't fail to see the potential in a property. I love that one. And like you said, for your daughter-in-law, that's exactly what she needed to look at, right? You don't necessarily have to fall in love with everything you see. And especially during an inspection period, right? There's going to be things that pop up. Don't let them all alarm you. There's room for improvement. And then last but not least, I'll wrap up here. The last thing he says is just keep a positive attitude. Buyers, your agents, make sure you're working with an agent who is pleasant to work with, because right now there's plenty of agents to choose from. So if you're not working with someone who's pleasant to work with, find someone else. But, who's also good at communicating with you and is explaining to you the reality of the market right now. They can't just kind of blow smoke and say, oh yeah, everything's going to be all rosy, because it is definitely a tough seller's market out there. So hopefully those are a couple of tips and tricks to keep you motivated and keep putting your offers in.
Yep. Okay, now what's your fun story for this week? I think this was so cool, especially for Go Girl Power.
I know, right? Like, woo, woo, girl power. All right, so I found this one, AZ Uplifting News. I really, really love this article. So Kristen Muir was the first female athlete to score a point in an AI8 state championship football game as a kicker for Marco de Mesa High School. So this girl was a female athlete in high school, and unfortunately, on a football team, right? On a football kicker, right? Which is an amazing accomplishment right there. So girl power, playing high school football. But she got into a car crash last year, and it was a devastating car crash, injuries to her spine, and they didn't know if she was going to walk. And so she has been on a full path to recovery. She has not only learned how to walk again, but they say if you go down to the high school football games, you will see her standing on the sidelines, coaching and inspiring her team. And so I'm like tears in my eyes just reading it, because that is so awesome to, cane and all, but just getting back out there and living her life and just knowing like there was no other option. I'm going to learn how to walk and recover and
don't let the doctor say you can't. It's how, not I can't. How can I?
Yeah. So anyway, Kristen Muir, shout out to you. Awesome. Female power out there.
Round of applause for you. So awesome.
So yeah, that's all the crazy news for this week. Hopefully this update is helpful to you guys. Click like our YouTube channel.
Go to lizandmarie.com and check us out on our webpage.
Yes, if you want to sell a house, go to lizandmarie.com/save now so we can show you how to save money selling your house. And I think that's it. So short and sweet. We're going to keep it this week. Hopefully everyone had a great Labor Day. I know Liz had a great Labor Day on the beach in Mexico.
I hope you did.
I did
In your
too.
backyard, in your pool.
And my pool. That's where I was with my boys yesterday.
Good.
So, all right. Well,
All right, cool. All right. Peace.
Love. All right.
We'll be back next week. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Bye.
Yeah, I will see you tomorrow, Liz.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye.